Good evening, fellow galactic aficionados. I am Dr. Fraser Crane, and this is the Smuggler's Cantina, where high culture meets hyperspace. Here, nestled between the spice lanes of Kessel and the philosophical quandaries of the Jedi Code, we gather to explore the rich, sprawling mythos of Star Wars, all whilst politely steering clear of that most contentious of timelines, the sequel trilogy. From the moral complexities of Anakin Skywalker's fall, to the finer points of Clone Wars diplomacy, to the rustic charm of Mos Eisley's most questionable patrons, we leave no stone or stormtrooper helmet unturned. So holster your blasters, ignite your lightsabers, and pour yourself a glass of Corellian brandy. You've just stepped into the Smuggler's Cantina, where the only thing more dangerous than a Sith is a poorly constructed narrative arc.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So I wanted to get more in depth of the lawsuit and how Gina won. First off, when you read it, I've got the paperwork, so I will probably add it somewhere in this video so you can look at it. Deadline was kind enough to actually get the legal filings. Thank you, Deadline. This is what I was talking about. The world has changed considerably since November 5th, 2025. Considerably. And it's not just the House of Mouse realizing they weren't going to win this argument. And of course, we know that emails were harvested by the Nazgul back in 2023. They know what disclosure would look like, and they know what depositions would look like, and what it would mean for Disney and Lucasfilm to have a lot of dirty trash out in public. So it was better for them to settle with her and, give her job back. Now, we don't know if she's going to get Cara Dune back. I think she probably will. There's time for John to film pickups. I don't know how busy he is with Oswald the Rabbit, but considering I think that show's going to be animated. I'm not sure. I think he could very well do a couple of scenes for Gina to put her back into it, because we know he didn't kill her character off. Now, let's address Jacob Suggs, damn decentralized, and all the crying, whining bitches. Gina won. Disney bent the knee. Because woke is dead, right? People have the right to have their opinions heard. They should not be worried about their jobs or how they're treated at their work. That's called harassment. And that's called you're going to get sued into oblivion, which is exactly what happened here. And to be honest, you got for Suggs and Decentralized and Molly and Alex and all the rest of that trash, they're lucky their buddies at Lucasfilm aren't getting deposed here. Oh, and needless to say, guess who was at Lucasfilm yesterday? Cameron Pasha. So I expect a full report soon. So what's going on here? Gina got everything she wanted. Elon Musk put his money to a good use. She got one of the biggest, most I was scholarly advocates for the Constitution, constitutional lawyer, to write an extra legal document for her case. That's what happened. And what does it mean for Star Wars going forward? Well, look at the fall off for Fantastic Four. And is Pedro Pascal fatigue real? In my humble opinion, I think it is. So, giving Gina her opportunities back basically makes it so the people on the black pill side who are screaming this is just PR, blah, blah, blah. From what I heard, Midnight's Edge, because Andre wasn't there last night, was screaming nothing good ever happens. Because they're not lawyers, they're not in the film industry, and they know bupkis about how this shit works. Gina walks on stage in front of a camera. That kills every bit of their narrative. Half the reason why they hate Star Wars now, half the reason why they scream Star Wars is dead, is because of what happened to her. And now they're afraid they can't make money at it. Their engagement farming crop is dying. This is why we get nothing good ever happens out of their mouths, right? But this is good. This is also a sign of good faith by Disney and Lucasfilm to talent in general. Because look, if Kathleen Kennedy was me, she could have easily fired Pablo Hidalgo and Pedro, because they can't keep their fucking dirty leftist fascist mouth shut. Can they? So this is a way for Disney to take the narrative away from the extremists, the black pills, on the far right and just the fanboys who are upset when Gina got canned. Now, the problem is the far left, the blue pills, Star Wars Explained, etc. What are they going to do? Those two cowards have been quiet. Jacob Suggs and Dan Decentralized have been shitting themselves over it. Apparently, you're not allowed to have an opinion other than theirs. Now, these are guys that scream women's rights and are intimidated by a strong, independent woman. And with that, let's talk more.
I take it back. You're not unprofessional. You're a freaking loon.
5 numbers for you. Do you have a pencil?
Come on, Roz, hurry up. I want to get out of here before her trainer shows up with a bucket of live mice for her pre-show feeding.
Speaking of buns, I could do without. Lilith is back.
Oh, that explains why blood was pouring from all my faucets this morning.
What an odd combination of odors. Smells like a fish died and all the other fish sent flowers.
Someone just drew a pentagram on the floor and chanted, "I summon thee," 3 times.
So the question remains, what's really going on here? And we remember the speculation that if Gina was there and they settled her lawsuit out of court, that it was a sign that Kennedy was gone. Here you go. No statements by her husband. No trip, I guess, this year, leaving California and going to Europe to sample the new rosé in Provence. No, tooling around the Mediterranean on some Spanish islands. No Paris dinners. Just, she's not around. Where is she? This is the woman that championed strong, independent women. And instead of fostering somebody like Gina Carano, she created, with the help of J.J. Abrams and the has-been Larry Kasdan, a one-dimensional character named Rey. Nothing bad ever happens to her. She doesn't get trained. She's just girl boss immediately, screaming, "Don't you dare touch me," to Finn as he's trying to help her get away from TIE fighters in the first movie. Right? You know, the true, strong, independent women. Princess Leia is turned into a fucking hag by her. Meanwhile, we get Jyn Erso. Not as bad, but still, at least she's a multi-dimensional character. She's, you know, got some depth. And then we get Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Helena Shaw. One-dimensional, angry, girl boss, loud, smug, condescending to Indiana Jones, and a giant pain in the ass. This is what Kennedy thinks a strong, independent woman is. You can't look at Gina. I can't imagine her feelings on Nancy Mace. You know, God knows what she said about Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle jeans ad. You know, but this is the problem. Now, here's the question. What does this mean? Gina wins? Are we going to hear about the Karen McCarthy lawsuit being settled soon? That's the next one. Right? And that one, actually, I think is more embarrassing because there's, I think, criminal fraud intended, criminal fraud in that case. And all they had to do was give her, what, a couple $1 million? What were they trying to hide? What does this mean? And no, don't give me the Tom Connors, nothing good ever happens bullshit. Don't give me the blue pill, they'll never use Gina, blah, blah, blah. They didn't read their legal documents. Here they are. I mean, what happens in this is that the parties come to an agreement, they file documents saying they have, and the judge has to sign off on it. And that's just pro forma. This is actually, this happened. This is real. Gina Carano's lawyers, Gene Shar, Eugene Volokh, who's friggin' brilliant and a genius, came to an agreement with the Disney lawyers. They have a deal, and it appears that Gina has her job back. It appears that there will be things for her to do at the Walt Disney Company. It also saves her good name. And it also sets precedent for other conservatives who have been treated like shit in Hollywood because they dared to speak out. I could see Mel Gibson taking somebody to court now. Right? This sets a precedent. You cannot violate somebody's free speech because you don't like what they have to say. If you're the Walt Disney Company, if you're Kathleen Kennedy. But what else does it say? It says, woke is dead. The shit that caused this is over. And it also says to me that Bob Iger was never happy to be part of that bullshit anyway. And he did it because it was a trend. Trends die. Now it's just write good stuff and hope it makes people happy when they leave. That's what you do. That's Ozzy Osbourne entertained people because he wanted to make them happy. Kathleen Kennedy is incapable of understanding that. She doesn't understand what storytelling is, and her whole braggadocious femme power is bullshit. It is fucking bullshit because of what she did and allowed to happen to Gina Carano. Okay, I'm on my soapbox, I don't care. Strong, independent women shouldn't have to follow each other around in a loop. You know what I'm saying? If the so-called alpha bitch says something, the people down below who might be alpha bitches of their own can wander off and think whatever they want. That's what being an individual is. And by the way, the United States Constitution guarantees the rights of the individual are paramount over the rights of the fucking mob. And this is the first time, I think, in Hollywood history that the fucking mob, led by this creature, got their asses kicked because they violated Gina's right of free speech. All right? You know, I just, and this says so much about where she is at Lucasfilm in general. All right? I gotta say, I'm very happy with all of this. And like I said, we're gonna get a whole treasure trove of Lucasfilm news coming soon. And I have a feeling we're even gonna have a date by which Kathleen Kennedy is gone. All right? Because this was the indication to me that she was out. Because Gina would not have settled if she thought for 1 second Kennedy still had power. And I'm pretty sure the lawyers understood. And I know Elon Musk knows. He has said so in public on X. Anyway, God bless everybody. This was a great day. And I'll see you all around the galaxy.